Ladies and gentlemen, how we doing? We doing good? Let me open this up. Booyah. There we go. Pop this out. Tequila. Da 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 da. Tequila. Hey there, cutie. You're lucky Emily's not home. Otherwise, I get in trouble for calling you cutie. Let's see where Polly Paul is at. Play any on the new patch, Alex? You play on the durability patch at all? Because I can tell you, I got destroyed by one game that I played. Oh, you don't have to worry about that, my friend. I can puff out hopium like it's nothing. You just play Malphite instantly. Nice. I need to be able to get through the early game a little bit better, but that's about it. Look who it is.
Hello.
What up, what up?
Not much. How are you?
A little heated at the moment.
Why?
Because I got smashed in my first game on the durability patch. I was told that I would be able to scale to the late game and win fights because I'll be more durable. Well,
Didn't it happen?
turns out when you play Vayne into a Teemo lane and you have something that directly blocks your auto attacks, you can't lane. On top of that, having a fed Olaf to Leah on the enemy team makes for a miserable early game experience. The game that I decided to
Doesn't
lock
sound
in
fun.
late. Oh no, it was not fun. So the first pick that they had, I think was Gangplank. And I was like, okay,
Nice.
I'm just gonna lock in Vayne. I'm second pick. It is what it is. Just whatever. We'll scale. And then they picked 4 early game champions and a direct counter to Vayne, all in a row.
Yo,
I was like,
I'm
well, this isn't fun.
I'm eating food, so I will mute my mic while I eat, and then I'll turn on my camera after.
All right, you're
I
good.
want to give people free like food content or whatever they do on.
I mean, I'm trying to milk it for the views. That's fine. Do you really think I got a
Bro,
problem with milking it?
I really like the new YouTube layout on streams. There's just the bar now,
Yep,
like the watching. It's getting a lot better.
it is.
Getting a lot better. YouTube is you've been on this train for a while now.
I said it from the jump. I
You
still
have.
I still maintain it till the end of time that I think YouTube will eventually pass Twitch. There's some features that they definitely need to implement. Their hosting is about to be a thing, so that's good. That'll keep people in the ecosystem for a longer period of time. Clipping could still use some work, but I'm starting to see some people finally use YouTube clips. Uh,
Yeah, and
be,
YouTube stories
yeah,
now or whatever.
YouTube Shorts.
Yeah, those are getting huge. YouTube's just too big all the time.
YouTube is 100% the content way of the future. I've been saying that for such a long period of time, and I still believe that to this day. I just find it to be the most sustainable product out of everything out that's out there in social media. Like TikTok will eventually die out at some point. Like I think it's got more staying power than most, obviously, but it's not going to be able to compete with YouTube. It's also not going to be able to compete with like I think it's got better staying power than Twitch at the moment. But I don't know.
Oh, really?
TikTok? Yeah.
That's an interesting take.
I mean, well, think about it. For what, 9, 10 years
I like it.
now, we've had a short form video platform that has continuously succeeded. Like
Yeah.
Vine started all of this. And then TikTok has, quite frankly, just kind of perfected it to the point where even the music industry, with the whole Halsey controversy, is now like pretty much the center of attention for everything. And yes, TikTok's not the end all be all. You use TikTok to blend yourself into other platforms. If you can make it as a YouTuber, that's obviously, one of the higher means. But even then, you're still trying to bleed yourself into television, mainstream, and everything else there. But TikTok is the best platform starter out of all of them by a wide margin.
Yeah. And what's the Halsey stuff? I didn't hear about this. Explain.
Halsey posted a video saying that her record label is holding her song hostage unless she gets a viral video to help promote the song. Basically, they need a certain amount of pre-saves to be able to release the song. And they're only accepting basically
What?
she needs to hit that number of pre-saves and have a viral video on TikTok with it because it's now been proven over the last 2 years that you need virality on TikTok with a song for it to hit top 5. If you don't have that, it won't. That's how powerful TikTok has become. And record labels are now holding artists, whether you want to consider it hostages or not. I mean, I personally think some of it, yeah, is hostage holding, but I think the majority of it is just artists not knowing to a certain extent, like what needs to happen or like how to manage your social media properly. But I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah, it's just money being money right there.
Yeah. I mean, do I like it? No, I wish people could just publish their art, but you sign a record label
Yeah.
deal for a reason and you have contractual obligations that they set. If they are allowed to do that within your contract, then you just didn't negotiate your contract all that well.
Hmm.
So, I don't know.
Dang, that is an aggressive take in the comments.
Need to find out what.
Nyx.
Did my chat? I think my comments froze.
Oh,
I can't.
chat, my bad. Yeah, you might need to restart it or something.
Yeah, let me.
He said TikTok is utterly toxic to mental health and steals absurd amounts of user data. I would not shed a single tear if it died in a fire.
I'm weirdly enough still not seeing that comment. I mean, look, I'm not denying that they don't steal
Yeah.
data, but at the
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I think
He ain't wrong.
no, he's not wrong at all. The difference is I personally don't care about the data stealing. Mental health, I
Mhm.
definitely think there is an argument to be had there, where the TikTok algorithm is arguably like the most aggressive out of every social media platform.
How?
It just preys
I
on
don't use
people.
it, so I'm
It
wondering
it
how.
preys on your like it learns what you want to see very very well, and branches off well to the point where like you can spend like if you go on a TikTok binge, you could spend an hour and a half easy on there watching like anywhere between 7-second to 60-second videos. Like I understand a YouTube binge, Like I've gone on those many times where you'll start watching one video and then 3 hours later you're watching something completely unrelated, but you could technically follow the chain and go all the way back.
Yeah.
But TikTok is a lot more aggressive with it.
Dang. It's funny though, because a lot of people who are here because of TikTok. Because of your TikTok.
That's the thing, is like, I'll be the first one to say, like, yeah, it's got its issues, but at the end of the day, it is still an enjoyable social media platform, whether people like it or not.
Yep.
See, next point, it basically locks you into an echo chamber and fuels your emotions. Uh yeah, if you let it. That's the big thing. Like, the one thing I will say about TikTok is that it is actually fairly easy to manipulate your algorithm to
Mhm.
get it to something different. Like if I don't see any gaming content on my TikTok feed, I'll intentionally find a few people that make gaming content that I know that I like, go on, comment something, maybe like a video or two, and within a day, my algorithm is going to start pumping out some gaming content to me. And you can kind of correct it. I've gotten into, like, politically, I've gotten into a few where, like, I'll get a lot of left-wing propaganda. So I'll go and intentionally watch like a Ben Shapiro video or something that's a little bit more like centrist or right wing, and then you'll start getting some of those videos through on your feed as well. So you can see things outside of your echo chamber. Will people be that diligent with it? No, I definitely am in the very few minority on that, and I do understand that. Like, we're not designed to be able to spot that out and then, combat that individually. But you can do it, is my point.
That's interesting. Yeah, I've never used it because the data stealing stuff, and I'm in the military, so I don't want to like be the reason it all falls apart. You know what I mean?
You won't be.
I
'Cause
know other places would steal it and sell it too, like Google or that whatnot.
yeah.
But yeah,
Uh,
TikTok just seems really
I mean,
really
it
interesting.
it is. It's the most trending social media platform, but we'll leave the TikTok conversation actually to TikTok for now. We haven't talked about League of Legends in 2 weeks, my friend. Ugh. We literally have not talked since this tournament began. That's insane.
Nope. And we haven't even got. And the thing is, that sucks, is we haven't got to talk about all the drama with RNG.
We haven't got to talk about literally anything with this tournament.
True.
Uh, where do you want to start? I'll let you direct this, since you've been here and a lot more in tune with it than I have, because I was kind of
Um,
gone and on vacation. Although I still have an
kind
idea
of
of
what
everything.
I want to talk about the most is the series that I think matters the most for North American people right now, and then I'll talk a lot about G2 and T1. But RNG and EG. Uh, well, actually, I'm not gonna start there. I'm gonna start at the beginning. We need to get rid of making all the major regions play the terrible regions.
That's never gonna happen.
I know it's not, but if we could just skip to Rumble stage and let all the other bad regions fight it out for the last two spots, they need to start doing that.
I will say this: I think a format change is coming next year, undoubtedly.
That'd be nice.
And I,
Because,
okay.
yeah, it sucked watching.
Oh no, it definitely did. So I caught most of the group stage games because I was on Hawaiian time. So I was
Hmm.
actually watching the games at a very reasonable hour, which was kind of nice. Uh, it was just smash after smash. And I think the fix to that, at least in my opinion, that I hold, is exactly what Mark Z talked about and I proposed, I think, to you once or twice. Uh, are you familiar with Swiss formatting? Like Swiss group stages?
No, what's his format?
We talked about this back with Worlds a little bit, but basically the way it works is you have a square root number of teams. So whether that's like 16, 8, or sorry, not 8, 4, was it 4, 9, 16? Like it has to be evenly divisible. But basically, you go into a system where,
Bro, I'd have to watch this whole video. This seems so confusing.
wait, the Mark Z thing?
Yeah.
Here, I'll pull it up on stream. CSGO Swiss knockout stage. I'll use CSGO because I think CSGO has literally perfected it.
Yeah, I need an actual bracket of it to see it.
Yep, I'm pulling it up now.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
basically,
Oh, what?
okay, here it is. I got it. Let me change the stream to league in game, and this should make it clear. So basically, the way it works is you start off with 16 teams that all enter 0-0. Then, obviously, you'll have 8 teams that have won one game and 8 teams that have lost a game, and you'll pit the same records up against each other. And then obviously the winners will go on. The losers will be like the records will be merged. So the 2-0 teams will then play the 2-0 teams. The 1-1 teams will play the 1-1 teams. The 0-2 teams will play the 0-2 teams. You have to win 3 games before you lose 3. So then you'll be down to 4, I think 2-0 teams. They'll play each other, and the 2 teams that win that automatically qualify to the Rumble stage or whatever like the next stage is. And then the 2-1 teams will play, and whoever wins their game out of there will qualify there. On the opposite side,
Oh.
the 0-2 teams, if you lose your game there, you're out. If you win, you move up to the 1 and 2 bracket, and you literally play through until you either have 3 wins or 3 losses. You're guaranteed
So
5 games as long as you don't
yeah,
lose 3 before that.
and you're
And
guaranteed not to play insanely good teams.
correct, and everything is seeded when you go into it. So what at each stage for like 0-0, 1-0, it will always be the highest seed versus the lowest seed. So in this tournament, for example, RNG in the first round would have played one of whoever the worst minor region was. And then they obviously RNG would have won. And then you'll have the top 8 teams, which would be like, I don't know, the VCS or whoever would be like the 8C team, RNG would play then. So then they win there, and then assuming all the favorites win, in this 2-0 bucket, you have all the major regions. And RNG would play EG and likely qualify, and then that RNG's done. They've only played 3 games, they've moved on, that's it.
Yeah.
EG is now sitting in the 2-1 pool, playing against the combination of like the loser of SKT G2 and then whoever wins out of the minor regions here. And you just keep it's all properly seeded. So the whole purpose of this is the major regions will 9 times out of 10 move on, because they'll be given multiple chances to slip up, but still always play against worse teams than they are, because they are the higher proper seed.
Okay.
And to pull up the Mark Z thing, because I think he did this perfectly with the situation that we're in. He lays it out here in a horribly Excel version done, but this should lay it out for you. So this is exactly how it would go each and every round. And the teams at the very top are the teams that would qualify to the next round.
It's too much. Like that hurts. Yeah, it makes.
Does this?
It
I know
makes
this is a little
sense.
bit. This might be a little bit
Yes.
intimidating to look at, but this should make sense with the
It
explanation.
makes sense now. Yeah.
And what this would lead into is we would then have, if you do this format, you have it here. What I would like to see is I'd like to see them invite 4 more teams, but even if they don't, stick with Mark's
Why does it
schedule.
say OPL 04? Just because they're automatically given a loss?
No, because they've lost. They've lost. Well, yeah,
3
basically.
games.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Well,
So
in this system,
4 losses is what technically.
Mark Z
Yeah.
system is a little bit different than your traditional Swiss system. So that
Okay.
this is slightly changed, but the basics are still there. In his system, you have to win 4 before you lose 4, rather than win 3 before you lose 3.
Yeah, just because there's more teams. Makes
Correct.
sense.
And then what this would feed into is exactly what we're used to with a double elim bracket. The same format as LCS playoffs, where the top 4 teams that get through, as determined by here, because you would have four top seeded teams with the LPL, LCK, LEC, and then there that qualifies in, and then the bottom 2, bottom 4 go into the losers bracket. Then you have 2 weeks to play a double elim tournament.
Okay. I can get behind this.
I think that's a perfect system.
Yeah, I like it. I don't mind it at all.
You balance it out a lot better than it is right now. And like you said, there will be some smashes. That first round is going to be ugly because all of your top 4 teams are playing the 4 worst teams in the tournament. But it's
Yeah.
guaranteed after that point that the regions that are a lot worse are going to have better matchups, barring upsets.
Yeah. I actually like this a lot.
Yeah. Swiss systems are great. I love them. I've loved every esport, every regular sport, anything that has ever had this format. I have loved it to death. So
Mhm.
I pray to God that that finds its way in. Do I want that for Worlds? I don't know.
Well, no, because I don't know what you do for Worlds, but you can't have same regions playing each other.
I mean, you can if it's seeded that way, but no,
Yeah, but you
I'm
don't want it early. You know what I mean?
yeah, I'm with you where I think for MSI it's perfect. Worlds, I'm still not sure how you solve.
Hmm.
I haven't figured out the world's problem yet because I want group stage to remain as it is for worlds. I don't want to see the same region teams facing off against each other in group stage. And I think the magic of group stage at worlds speaks for itself. It might not be the optimal format, sure, but I think it's ultimately
It's the
fine.
most fun.
Exactly. And then
Yeah.
if you want to get into double elim, like I mean, I'm trying to think if you could you do like a double elim bracket at Worlds where you have the top 8 teams and the top 4, like the 1 seeds go into a winners bracket and the bottom teams don't. Like, is that possible?
I don't know. I don't really think it. No, I don't think it would be for Worlds.
I'm just saying it like in terms of logistics, is that possible? Like, can you do a 8 team? Hang on, I'm drawing this right now just to see if I can. See if 1, 2, 3, and 4. Those two face off against each other. 1, 4, 2, 3. 2 moves on. Actually, you can, believe it or not. Which I can show you this here in a minute, but I don't know. Do you have any other ideas for format while I draw this out? Like how to fix this besides like that idea?
Uh, Not really, because I don't. I'm not like a huge. I don't really care as much of other people about format. I'm more of one of those go win like type people. You either
Yeah.
win or you don't. But that's because I like traditional sports a lot, and traditional sports kind of make you do that. I think a lot more like interesting storylines are built when you don't make it so that one team gets a billion chances to make sure they win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's got to be a certain clutch factor in sports that makes it fun. And when you take that out and you just keep giving teams second, third, and fourth chances, like at what point are you taking away that aspect of sports? It's one thing I don't love.
I mean, I agree with you.
Because, I mean, when you look at college basketball, there's a reason March Madness is so loved.
Yeah.
It's because it gets crazy. Now, of course, almost 9 times like out of 10, your 8 seed making a deep run or whatever, your 15 seed like this year gets crushed eventually, but that's part of the fun, you know what I mean?
So, are you looking at this? Do you have the screen pulled up?
Yeah.
This is what a double elim bracket would look like with 8 teams, assuming you sent the top 4 here to a winners bracket and the bottom 4 teams to a losers bracket. It would only be 3 additional games. It'd be 10 versus 7 games.
Yeah.
Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It'd be 3 additional series if you seeded it like that.
Yeah. Which I mean is fine. I think that's fine. That one works.
That would take what, one more weekend?
Hmm. Not even. You could just throw it into a Thursday, Friday.
Yeah, I mean you ultimately could.
Make
I you're making the broadcast hours a little bit longer.
yeah, but you can just force the worst seeds to have to play harder days. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That is my thing though. Like I kind of hate how much people make these go on and drag them out because everybody wants like a top team to have multiple chances to win, but at what point is it just not their tourney? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think a lot of the problem, and I'm probably gonna piss some people off with saying this, but I feel like a lot of the complaining comes from LCK fans
Mm-hmm.
who, over the last 3 to 4 years, have not been the top region, but they feel like they should be, and they feel like
Yeah.
double Elim would help them get there.
Which is funny because they're the region who does best team in regular season skips to finals.
Yeah,
Their bracket is probably the most uncompetitive what is the word? Like integrity bracket you could possibly have.
yeah, because
You
it's
get you have yeah, it's literally just best of 5 into best of 5 into best of 5.
yeah,
And fourth plays third. If fourth beats third, they play second. And then if they beat second, they play first. And if they beat first, they win it all. And it's just 3 series. That's it.
yeah. One single best of five for the best team in the regular season. Now,
Yeah.
granted, they're doing best of threes throughout the entire season, so I will give them
But they
slack.
also have to take 2 weeks off,
Fair.
which is terrible for competitive integrity, in
Yeah.
my opinion.
Oh yeah. You're
You're
causing the team in the finals to go cold no matter what. I mean,
yeah,
luckily, the team still ends up winning it because the LCK has been very, very top heavy for
yeah,
about 3 to 4 years now.
yeah.
But it's like, god damn, like, because I do you ever see North American fans complaining about not their teams not getting a second chance?
Not really, no.
I've never seen it. I've seen some European teams argue it, but not, or some European fans argue it, but not many. And like, if you're, I'm sorry, but like, I think the main culprit of this is like Monte Cristo, who is always putting out there that double elim is the best way to go. You want all these chances. Like, in my eyes, it's just you trying to get Korea to play again and trying to give them a chance. I get you want to see the best teams in the world play each other, but it's
Mhm.
ultimately, I don't know, it's kind of worked out that way recently.
Yeah, well, a lot of people want they don't want to believe that China is as good as China is.
Fair.
Which I mean, I understand why they want to believe that, but at some point you gotta accept that China does dominate everyone for a reason, and it's not because China has best of fives bailing them out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's because China's just actually beating everyone.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't. I mean, I don't really get why Korean fans demand second chances so much. And I get people say it's more competitive. It builds a better finals because it forces the finals to be better. But if you've been watching LCS,
Yep. Or LEC.
or LEC, I'm gonna give you a news flash. It has not made the best of fives better.
No, it
It's
has
made
not.
them honestly harder stomps.
It's yeah. Like
Now, both teams that won got a second chance. So I
the
guess that's
the
their
majority
argument.
of winners have had a second chance.
Yeah.
The overwhelm, I think it's like 75% now of winners from both the LEC and the LCS since double elimination has been introduced in both of them. The winners come
They've
out of
been
the losers
losers
bracket.
brackets.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I just don't see how they think that that's somehow more optimal for competitive integrity, in my opinion. But
Because then you're gonna get, my other problem with that is that you're also gonna have people complaining that it's like, oh well, you need an advantage going into finals, because like
yeah,
the reason why these people aren't winning is because they're not getting that second series to learn to adapt and go from there. It's like, okay, well, I don't want that argument either. I think that's worse, especially at Worlds. Oh my god.
Yeah. Well, the way too Dota 2 did it, which everyone wants the Dota 2 system, right? Uh,
The
they're
one
gonna
free
hate it.
game.
Yeah, they're gonna hate it when they learn about the one free game, because they don't even know that that's a thing.
Yeah.
And if I mean, imagine if China got a free game on Korea the second time they
Oh
meet
my god, we'd never hear the end of it.
and wins at the end of a best of 5.
Busan would be a graveyard instead of a library.
Yeah, yeah. And that's another thing to talk about too, is the fact I'm really happy Riot kind of went out of their way to bring China into this.
Same.
I mean, logistically, we also got to talk about the fact people are way over complaining. Logistically, this is not that bad.
No,
This
it's
would be
not.
like, yeah, it'd be like having, uh, I don't even have a good reference because America's so weird, but it'd be like having a team from Toronto playing an attorney that's in Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
Geographically, I'm sure the distance is different quite a bit, give or
But
take.
the ping is
But
similar.
yeah, the ping would be similar. And I don't really all the people saying, "Oh, the competitive integrity is ruined now for MSI." It really isn't.
No, it's not.
Like,
It's people making a fucking mountain out of a goddamn molehill. Like
yeah,
I've been so sick of seeing I'm glad we're past it at this point. But everybody's like, "Oh, RNG's cheating." Or RNG's doing this. Like, why do we even have them there? Well, we have them there because if they weren't there, all of you would complain about the fact that this tournament is no longer legitimate and that the winner doesn't matter. So why are we even having this? And then they'll get rid of MSI because
and
you bitch the other way.
yeah, and maybe just enjoy good league
Yeah,
because they play it. They happen to be one of the best teams in the world.
I would argue
Like,
the best team in the world.
yeah, it's fun to watch them. Like, I don't like. Does anybody get bored watching a Chinese game? I feel like you don't.
No,
Like, LPL plays so fast and they make the game so fun, and you can't tell me that all these people are sitting here enjoying a Korea game. You gotta, I swear, if you watch T1 regularly, you alt tab out. I don't care how
90% of the fun
diehard
of
of a
the
fan you are.
LCK is in draft. That's it.
Yeah, that's not
I
fun.
no, and that's the
Draft
thing. Like
is
that's
fun.
I think LS is the perfect example for that because it's like one of the main reasons why LS got popular is because of drafting because he put such a big deal on drafting and believes that like that ultimately decides 90% of the games, which in Korea for the most part it does. It seems
Mhm.
like. But like oh, what? We're supposed to watch the rest of it? LCK is as low or lower kills than the LCS, lower than the LEC, and lower than uh, the LPL. Everybody's lower than the LPL. But
Yeah,
it's like I don't want to go back to watching the ward killing game of doing nothing, waiting for objectives to pop up like every 3 minutes, and that's the
no.
only time that we get action. That's no fun.
Yeah, basically the TL play style is all of LCK.
Yeah,
And TL is very boring, if we're being honest.
insanely boring.
And nobody wants to watch that. And then you watch LPL games and bad teams get curb stomped in 20 minutes, which is nice because you get it out of the way,
Yep.
to be honest. And like some games you watch and you're like, "Oh, why are they going for this?" And you're getting angry because I'm like kind of what LPL Pierce, I don't know what you'd call me.
Yeah.
Like I just
You're
like them
you're
a lot.
you're an LPL stan to a certain extent.
Yeah. And so they'll you'll sit there and be like, "Oh no, they're inting again. They're not going to end the game." And then they somehow end it off a fight or they lose the fight and they come back up and they do the exact same play they just did to end the game. All
Yep.
because they died and bought a ton of items. And like the amount of LPL games that end with a lot of gold in players' pockets would anger Korean people so much.
Oh, I'd imagine it
They
does.
Yeah, they never back for like optimal buys. They 90% of LPL plays is trying to get turret plating because they want the turret plate gold so they can get gold as quickly as possible, get to like 1.5, 2 items, and try to end the game.
Yep.
And it's like a lot of people hate that because they don't want to believe that 1.5 to 2 items is a fair amount to end a game, but it really is realistically, and it's very fun.
You want to know what one of my favorite things to come from MSI has been?
What?
The fact that we finally shattered the bubble of Korean solo queue.
That has been funny.
Everybody and their mother has been saying, "Oh, Korean solo queue is the optimal way to play. It's the best solo queue in the world. It's the best for ping. It's best for having a lot of people playing."
Yeah.
But as we finally found out, as people have shed light on it, the game's over in 5 to 10 minutes, and then it's go again because the culture, as some people point out on Reddit, it's like kids have a certain amount of time that they can play, and the player base is very young relative to most in other countries. So people get on, they want their highlight montage quick, and then they want to go into the next game, and that's it. And you just keep going. So it's a mechanical skill check the entire time, which is by all means great for younger players and developing their skills early on. But macros non-existent, late game non-existent. Like none of the things that do make League as fun as it is to a certain extent from a Western point of view aren't there. So it's like,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's why their coaching is so big.
yeah. So it's like, sure, Korean solo queue is still the best thing in the world, but it's not this fucking Candyland glory world that people made it out to be for just years upon years, especially during COVID.
No. And I think a lot of I think two people who've also really pushed back on the idea that Korean solo queue is as good as it is was Tyler One going there and Baba the boss.
Yep.
Both of them hate it there. All they do is talk about how bad it is. And
Yep.
I think that's teaching a lot of people though, like that it's really good. Like Korean solo queue is very very talented, way better mechanically, but they end up being so in some ways you could say stupid that they end up costing themselves games they don't need to cost.
Yep. And it's why you see so many Korean players that were imported over to America say that they absolutely hate solo queue because it's
Yeah.
completely contradictory to the style that they are used to playing in solo queue. They
Yeah,
feel like
people
they
making you play it out. Yeah.
yeah, they feel like they can't get in games. They feel like they're being held hostage or doing all like no wonder why. It's a fucking culture shock.
Yeah.
That's another that feeds into the import discussion of why it's important to have natives and if you're gonna bring over an import, they need to mesh well into our system. It can't just be like, oh, we're gonna throw you at the problem and see how it works. Look at Core
Yep.
JJ. Great example of a player that embraced it rather than complained about it.
Yep. He Yeah, I think Core JJ embraced it really well. I think what's been interesting is even though he's having a bad time playing, it's been fun watching River and Shen Yi here.
Yeah.
Like, of course, they're not winning a ton of games in the league, but the way that Chinese players come over here and just try the same exact system that they would in China makes me laugh. Like, there is no switch or get mad. They literally just try to teach all the North American players their system.
Yep.
They're like, this is how I view the game. This is how I'm gonna play. Let's try it. And they all try to. And everyone, if you tell NA players honestly in a solo queue game, if you're psychotic enough to start running it down, they will with you.
Yep.
That's why we're so famous for NA RAM. But like NA RAM has its jokes and everyone thinks it's dumb. But at the end of the day, like it's a lot better than what I've watched in Korean solo queue where they literally just go sit in side lanes and die,
Yeah.
skill checking each other.
It's more entertaining.
Yeah, in some regards, yeah.
Like that the thing that I will always say is sports and esports are meant to be a blend of entertainment and competitiveness. We will never hit, you know, we will never perfect a sport to a certain extent. Like the way I look at it is this. Do you think even the primetime era Bulls and Lakers, were they playing perfect basketball? No, they were just playing better than everybody else.
True.
There's a lot of implications on this tournament specifically with MSI of oh, everybody's playing like shit. Why do we have to look through it with that lens? Why don't we just look at it as like, oh, this is the style that's being played this tournament. It's
Yeah,
more coin flippy. It's more aggro. It just, that's the way it's being played right now.
and that's
And
the way
this is
they
the
want
best.
League to go.
Yeah, and this is the best team at doing that.
Yeah,
Like eventually somebody will come in and have a different style and redefine it in the same way that, the Golden State Warriors redefined how basketball was played whenever Steph Curry came in.
hmm
And you know what? It was entertaining to watch for a little bit, but then people didn't like it as much. And then you find a balance and it slowly starts to work itself out. Like things will ebb and flow. Just enjoy the eras that you're in.
yeah. Well, right now the era is like China kind of took it from Korea, and it's been interesting because Korea's so much more popular than China still, as far as like Western interest. So people like just constantly call they discredit the Chinese teams that win. Like EDG winning, people like were acting like it was a hate crime when EDG won.
Yep.
They were pretending like somehow now the art form that is League of Legends has been ruined. And it's like, no, they're just playing a different style. Like, watch the way they play and either hate it or love it, but they're winning.
That's all that
I don't know what
matters.
else to say. Yeah, your favorite team can't seem to crack their code. And I mean, it's very fun watching Damwon. I think this summer is about to be insane because Nuguri comes back, if you didn't know that.
Yep, I did.
Yeah, so they're about to be a whole different breed. You're about to see Showmaker back in his real form, and Canyon. But nobody like, yeah, the fact that everybody just sits there and goes, oh, when Showmaker ints and Showmaker's making crazy, insane, aggressive plays, and Damwon's rewriting the game, they call it the most beautiful thing they've ever seen. But when a Chinese team like RNG and EDG, both who beat them in best of fives, beat them in those best of fives, they go, oh, they just lucked them, and Damwon must have played bad both days,
Yep.
which is insane to say because like RNG has really good players on their team,
Yep.
like disgustingly good. Bin hasn't been playing well this tourney,
But
but I'm
Gala
not
is
worried
like
about it.
Gala is the best player in the tournament.
Gala might be the best player in the world.
Yeah. Hands down, bar none. It's not even close in my mind at all.
Yeah, he is the dude that angers ADC mains, to be honest.
Yep.
Like you want to be him, but also I'm sure every ADC main gets angry because they're compared to him when they say ADC isn't overpowered.
I can't wait to see him on the new patch as well. On
Yeah,
the
I don't think
durability patch.
Owner's better than Gala. But this goes back to my point of the fact that a lot of people like Koreans more
Yep.
than LPL. So I understand why people would say Owner's better because that's your bias. You like SKT more. So of course you're gonna say Owner's better. But in my opinion, it's Gala because Chinese ADCs are that's why I watch like Chinese League, to be honest, as
Even
much
just
as I do.
looking objectively at the game, like it is not even close. It is Gala who is head and shoulders above everybody else in the tournament.
Yeah, and
And
watching Gala and Viper like is insane.
yeah,
Like that's why I think China's so good.
I think
Cause
Owner looks good because Bin looks so bad, and a lot of people are
yes.
gonna compare T1 and RNG directly to each other for best players of the tournament simply because they are the two best teams. And
Yep.
because Bin is the fourth best top laner in this tournament, people are automatically going to elevate people are going to elevate Owner to be like that much better. Whereas Gala, when you're directly comparing him to Gumayushi, similar thing where Gumayushi is underperforming, as is Danny, but it's like the way I would love to pull up the stats on this so I could have more numbers to back myself here beyond just the simple argument there, but ugh, I don't know what else to say on it.
Well, I think it's important to remember is that these teams, the difference in Chinese and Korean teams is that the Korean teams, the junglers are usually the prominent character in the mid laners. So that's why Canyon and Showmaker is the big deal, right? Owner Faker. That's what you're getting.
Yeah.
Another popular one is Chovy.
Yeah.
Chovy's the other like big name. In China, mid laners play a more like
Supportive style.
supportive style almost,
Yeah.
but they also can pop out. I've been amazed how bad Xiaohu's Ari is. Some of this tournament. I don't know if anyone else is seeing it and I'm the only one, but he misses like 75% of his charms. I swear. He is terrible at it. And he'll int and they still win. Bin is inting and they still win because Wei and Gala are so good. And Chinese junglers ain't a joke. Everybody forgets that they exist. Like Tien basically owned the world for a solid minute.
I'm about to make a bold claim here that I'm
Okay.
curious to know if you support this or not. Jojo Pune has been the second best mid laner at this tournament. Of Rumble stage. I will clarify. Of Rumble stage specifically, Jojo Pune has been
Better
the
than
second best.
so
Bet-
Caps is first, right?
No, Caps is third. Did you watch their 0-5 streak?
I mean, yeah.
And Jojo Pune, even in the loss to G2 on the final day, like Jojo Pune was very much holding his own and playing well. It was not on him for losing.
Yeah, I just don't know. I don't know how
I
to
would
take that.
I would put Faker at 1, Jojo at 2. I'd probably put Caps at 4, I guess. Yeah, because Caps was absolutely popping off early on, like 1 or 2 games early. But like in terms of the overall level throughout the entire series, he's one of the main reasons why they went on their slide.
Caps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I
That's
know it's
true.
bold. Realistically, most people are going to put JoJo at 3, and then put Caps at 4, and put RNG T1 ahead.
Oh. You really have him over Caps.
Yeah, 100%. He has been a consistent player throughout all of Rumble stage, and even in their losses, he looked good, and in their wins, he looked great.
Yeah, I don't know.
He has stepped up significantly from group stage. He is literally following Fudge's story arc uh from last MSI, where he's just continuously getting better each and every game.
Yeah.
Like I put it this way, I'm not worried about Jojo Pune at all
Fair.
for the remainder of his career. I think his confidence and cockiness really helps him bounce back from even his off games. Whereas you directly compare that to Danny, who is entirely in his head this tournament. Like it's a night and day difference between the two. Jojo Pune has taken MSI as a learning opportunity, has gotten better, has improved consistently. Danny has just let the pressure succumb to him a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, that is. Yeah, Jojo Pune has done a better job in that regard. Danny does seem like he's choking a little bit. Not in a bad way, just like he needs to calm down.
Yeah. He like, and it's not even like it's just his laning either. Like we were always worried about his laning phase at international stage, and that still maintains to be the problem. The difference was in North America, after he would get past laning phase, he would always be in the right positions during team fights. He has not been that. He has very rarely been in the right spot at the right time in in the Rumble stage matchups.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm gonna be honest, it's just like NA ADCs, man. They are kind of in a tough spot right now.
I mean, it's true.
We're not. I mean, this is the best one we got, to be honest.
Uh,
Like at
well,
one of them.
you would put him over FBI?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, the way you're talking about him was like he was transcendent after finals. You know what I mean?
I mean, I have to hype him up a little bit if we're being honest.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, everybody was acting like that.
Yeah.
I ain't lying.
No, look, I bought into it fully, and I still do. I think one bad tournament should not define you.
It
However,
shouldn't.
if
It
EG
shouldn't.
makes it to Worlds and he shits the bed again, then yeah, I'm raising the red flag immediately
Yeah.
and saying, okay, this is a guy that's good domestically, but he's got demons to overcome internationally. I don't know what it is, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. And that's the same thing with
Sure.
Jojo Pune. Like Jojo Pune shouldn't be like all of a sudden be this great, phenomenal, best mid laner that the LCS has ever seen. He's on the trajectory to become the best in the world ever. Like that shouldn't automatically be the conversation. But you should be hyping up that narrative because if he does pop off at Worlds, then it's an even better storyline. If he falters, then he
True.
falters, and it's North America and we're used to it, and it is what it is. You move on.
I mean, I was kind of hoping EG would be really good here because it'd help. I mean, for what NA needs, to be honest.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong here. This is still the best North American team that we've ever sent to an MSI.
Well, no, CLG and TL made finals.
CLG, I'll agree with. Uh, actually, yeah, I take my back. Not I take my statement back. Not the best team. CLG is up there. EG is better than Team Liquid of 2019
Why?
because they didn't drop games to teams that they shouldn't have. EG's group stage was undeniably better than Team Liquid's.
Yeah, but it
This
depends how their semis goes.
agreed.
If they get curb stomped by RNG, then no.
I don't. In my eyes, though, I don't think.
I don't think they get curb stomped.
No, but in my eyes, even if they do, like,
Well, I don't know though because TL at the time beat the uh returning champs.
yeah. And I'm not trying to diminish Team Liquid's accomplishments at all. It's the greatest upset that we'd ever seen on an international stage.
Yeah.
But in terms of knockout stage alone, I don't think it's arguable that EG is better than TL. We beat every team that we should have beat. We took a game off of SKT, which is great. And we performed way more consistent than Team Liquid ever did. Team Liquid had very high highs, but their lows were very, very low. EG, you shrink that. Their ceiling's not as high yet, but their floor is nowhere near as low. We didn't even come close to losing a game to any Pool 2 seat or Pool 2 team.
Yeah. That's true.
That's a notable step up. Like
That is true.
I don't think that's something that should be taken lightly.
They did beat a lot of teams that they were supposed to beat.
Exactly. Now
That is
imagine having that capability in prior years where we beat all the teams that we should have beat and still can contend against the top teams in the world.
Yeah.
We're great then.
And they were really close to third.
The SAT game was pure luck? Sure. I mean, I'll give you that. They threw 2 straight Barons. Not denying that. But we also held our own in both the games versus G2 for at least a little bit. We held our own against SKT, or no, I don't think we held our own against SKT in the first game. But we did hold our own against RNG in I can't remember which game, but one of them we were in it for a tiny bit.
It was a little bit of luck, but it was also them abusing a spot that SKT kind of sucks at, if we're being honest.
Yeah. That's something that SKT has done consistently now this entire tournament. So I actually, you know what? No, I'm willing to change my statement on that it was.
I said
It wasn't luck. It's the same problems that T1 has had all tournament long. We drafted specifically for that to be able to team fight around these objectives, and T1 did not close out their advantage well enough. And they made the same micro level mistakes that they've been making the entire tournament. Their jungler stepping outside of Taric ult range and dying right before Baron. It's not luck. He made a mistake. And if it was North America, people would be hounding on that till the day that he died. And it'd be a much bigger issue. But no, in this case, it's, it's the opposite.
Yeah, if that was inspired or...
It'd be like NA lol. NA does it again.
Yeah, Yumi too. If that was Danny, they would have just said Danny's still choking.
Was it? No, I thought one of the fights, Gumiushi died. No, in the first Baron fight, Gumiushi died early. In the second fight, their jungler died immediately with like 2k health left on the Baron.
Yeah.
The first one, it was supposed to be a Callista Ren that secured it alongside Smite, but Callista died. And then the second fight, the jungler just straight up died as a whole.
Yep.
I forget who he was playing. For that reason alone, to bring this to the topic of the video, I would only give it a 10% chance, at best. But I do think EG can take this series off of RNG.
Can take a what? A series? Or
can take this series off of RNG.
Don't you dare. Why would you say that, though?
Why would I say that? One, because I don't fuck with karma. Ever. In every 3 years, we have made it out of knockout stage. And we have won our semifinal matchup to go to finals.
How many times have we done this every 3 years?
Twice now. This would be the third time. In a row.
What was the first time?
CLG. 2016.
Oh. Okay.
And then this exact same scenario in 2019.
We'll see. I think Gall is pretty good.
Be honest. What chance would you have given Team Liquid in 2019 going into that series?
Nothing.
Zero. Nobody would have even considered it whatsoever. IG looked unstoppable. RNG is more beatable than IG was in 2019.
I don't know. RNG looks kind of crazy, bro.
No, they do not look as good as IG did in group stage in 2019 MSI. IG dropped one game. One.
RNG dropped, what,
two? And nearly dropped more. IG was a better team coming out of group stage than RNG was. Therefore,
I would have rather them play SKT. I'll say that.
Oh, I think anybody would love to play SKT more.
Yeah.
I think SKT though is going to be good in best of fives. I don't think G2 stands a chance in this series. I want G2 to win. Let me be very clear.
Father.
I mean, I hope. If I'm them, don't pick Callista. If I'm G2, I'm picking pure team fight and just win the coin flips. SKT has proven that they're going to coin flip every single objective in this game. As long as you don't get smashed so hard to the point where you can't win the game in the first 15 minutes and you pick a comp that can 5v5 better, you will win. But I don't know, G2 has, like, for some reason just completely gone away from that.
I don't know why G2's fallen apart so bad, if I'm being honest. Why do you think?
I think whenever you start winning, you stop playing to lose.
Pressure.
No, you start playing not to lose. And you stop pushing yourself as individuals, and you think, like, take the Riven game, for example. I think they thought that they would be able to try and experiment more. But it's not the right kind of experiment.
I agree.
Like, there are adaptations that you can make and variations that you can change, but you don't change up basically an entire play style. You don't take Flakked off of the style of champions that he's really good at. You want to throw him on a Vayne? Sure, go ahead. That's a late game team fighter that they can play around, and he can position himself well to win the game. Don't throw him on Callista. Don't completely alter the style that got you to where you were. So, I mean, that's me. I would keep the style that they learned how to play in playoffs, or if not saying that that exact style is going to carry over now into this playoffs, but whatever style is working for you, hold it and adapt to it and just tweak it as you need to go.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing for EG. If you find something that works for you in scrims, I don't know what that's going to be, but if you find something, go with it. Trust it.
First team out of 4, yeah. BB has fell so hard after EU finals.
I mean, that's
BB,
just...
yeah.
I feel like that's kind of false, though.
Well, I was gonna say he's not been carrying as hard, but to say he fell off seems very aggressive.
The person that fell off was Caps.
Yeah.
Broken Blade, even in their losses, he was not playing horrible. Like, that's the...
No.
I feel like people's perception, especially in League, tends to be like, if somebody's playing above their level and above expectations, when they go back down to their normal level, they're saying, oh, they fell off. It's like, no, they returned to normal. If you fall off, you're playing under your skill level. The best example of falling off, I think, is Double Lift in spring of 2020.
That was bad.
He fell off. That wasn't him playing great to return to normal. That was going from normal to fucking shit.
No, and
that's falling off.
Yeah, and that finals run was not because he had a euphoric moment. He literally, TSM was playing with three players.
Yeah.
Like, actually playing with 3 players.
To Alex's point on Caps not being consistent, yeah, that's the problem. He can win them games, but he will also lose them games. And that's the whole point. You need somebody that can not only win you games, but also make sure that you don't lose them. And that's the difference right now in my mind. Like, Broken Blade has not lost G2 a game. Caps has. That's the difference. Broken Blade might not have carried them to a win, but he did not lose them a game.
No.
That's the difference. That's the difference between falling off and not. If you are actively losing games for your team, you are falling off in the sense that the community wants to talk about it.
But I'm a biased Broken Blade fan, so.
Yeah, you're kind of hard to gauge character. To bring up Alex's other point, though, on Danny, what do you think you do in the moment?
What do you mean?
How do you get him comfortable? Do you let him just play like the Jinx late game style champs? Or what?
I mean,
his Samira's great.
Yeah, I don't. I think with Danny, what you have to do is try to do what you said, get him back to comfortability. The issue is the ADCs that he's comfortable on are not, can be very hardly abused.
Yeah.
Right now. And you're going to have to find a way around that. Now, a very big problem, and what would be key to them pulling off the upset you believe is possible,
yep,
is that he would have to find himself. Because he's about to play one of the best players in the world, and definitely the best ADC in the world.
Yep.
And I really don't know if you can make him comfortable. And Ming is really good too. Like, this matchup is going to be a problem.
I know how you make him comfortable. And it's already going to happen. And another reason as to why I think they win this series. Think about what element Danny was playing in when he played his absolute best League of Legends. He was in a stadium with thousands of people chanting for him and encouraging him on. what better environment for him to pop off than in an arena where the other team's not even there and all of the fans fucking hate the team that you're playing against. They are actively cheering for EG in this series. He has the crowd behind him. You have nothing to lose here. Everybody's expecting you to lose. Everybody's expecting you to get smashed. You make one single play and the crowd gets behind you. It's like finals all over again. It's the Team Liquid series. TL's up. Danny makes the play. Penta's stolen. All of a sudden, crowd's on his back. Danny's on a whole nother gear. It's done and over with.
But who better to quiet the crowd than Gala?
Can't quiet the crowd if you don't even know that the crowd's there.
That's my point. They're playing in the library, but they're making the other place a library. I literally haven't heard the crowd during RNG games when they're just annihilating teams.
I'll be honest, I haven't heard the crowd much at all this weekend, barring like a few T1 games. That's about it.
Yeah, and occasionally when a big play happens, the crowd goes crazy. And every time China plays, they like are as quiet as possible or booing.
By all means, I respect, like, I know we talked about this before. I respect the booing. I do. I like it.
Yeah, I like
it. It doesn't feel as passionate at all compared to like the European crowds or even the North American crowds. Like, I promise you, when EG comes and plays here, or when any North American team plays in New York, we are gonna get fucking loud for every kill, for every play. Literally anything that happens, I'm going to be going ballistic and screaming. If I have a voice when we record this podcast, I'd be shocked. But with the Korean crowd, it's like, I feel like the reaction is very mild at best. And I know the Korean crowds can get loud. I've seen BTS perform in Seoul. I know how loud they can get. It's just not for League.
No. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the Korean crowd, but they're definitely not behind whatever it is right now.
I'll be honest, and I don't know if this is controversial or not. Korean tournaments are my least favorite of all the major regions.
Typically, they're just not that fun.
Europe number 1. North America number 2 because I'm biased. China number 3. Korea number 4. European crowds are undefeated. Like, I don't think that's a contestable point at all. And then China's obviously just hype because they've got a shit ton of people and can fill out a stadium.
Yeah, they literally sell out like full domes, so.
Yeah. Little bit different, but.
China's pretty comparable to Europe when they get
and that's why I said, like, realistically, China probably should be number 2, but because I'm North American and I'm going to buy into the hype that is this Worlds, like, I'm putting them at number 2.
I like NA because we boo other teams.
Exactly. I love booing other teams.
And I like that. I think I would rather my crowd, I'll put it this way, I'd rather my crowd boo the teams they don't like than sit there and be quiet when the teams they don't like.
Yep.
Like,
Agreed.
how much more hype would it be if when they announce RNG, the crowd starts booing?
Oh, I'd love it. I'd absolutely love it.
Everyone would love it. They'd eat it up. RNG would eat it up. Players eat that up too. Players love being booed.
Yep. Because it motivates
going.
you to just, If anybody here or anybody watching this VOD has not watched any of this year's playoff hockey, you need to do yourself a favor and go watch some. Because it is playoff hockey is one of the best sports in the world, in my opinion. But more importantly, the crowds are unbelievable. They're the best in sports. Because you just have these teams that will boo the shit out of the enemy team the entire time. And when it pops off, when a goal is scored, it goes ballistic. Look at Game 7 between the Rangers and the Penguins in Madison Square Garden. When the Rangers won in overtime, it went ballistic. In a way that I don't know many other venues that like pop off in that manner.
True.
So yeah, I don't know who I'm gonna boo at Worlds, but I'll figure it out. I think I'm gonna boo Europe. I think I kind of have to. Other than I won't boo G2, but I think I'm gonna boo Fnatic and whoever else goes.
Have to.
I have to.
You
I
don't.
don't want to boo the Koreans because then I'll get outnumbered, and I don't like that. No, I don't want to deal with that. I'll cheer for Faker, but I think I'll boo like everybody else. I will cheer RNG and Gala, but I don't care who it is. Whoever's playing North America, I'm sorry, you're getting the 6'4", somewhat tan white dude booing your squad, and just know it will be me, and I don't give a fuck. Don't you call me coward. Anytime somebody's playing against North America, I will boo the shit out of them. Don't worry. I'm just saying if it's an independent matchup between like Europe and Korea, I don't know who I'm gonna boo.
You don't boo everybody except today. You boo the people you actually don't like.
I don't know what you're talking about. I boo everybody that NA plays against. Fuck them.
No, but I'm saying like you boo. You don't just have to boo everybody. You can boo a couple teams and get it over with.
Nobody's given me a reason to like fully hate them yet though. I need a
Yeah,
team like to come in that like actually is like
get
the
it.
villains or like it has a dick player. I don't know. But if you play against North America, yeah, I will be hyping up North America and then booing the other squad, trying to get them ready. I think it has to be Europe. Our rivalry with Europe is too strong.
True. I mean,
But
very true. Can you imagine how loud that place will get like, if an A team beats a European team,
oh,
knocks them out like elimination type game? That's
it's
gonna go
gonna be great.
crazy.
It's gonna be absolutely great.
I don't think we have an NA team that can do that right now, but maybe.
Mm, we might. It depends. We'll have to see at the end of the year.
Yeah, we will.
But so to close this out, because we've been a while over, any other topics you want to talk about before I get your final predictions for this weekend?
I don't know. I'm good.
Give me your final call then. Who's winning MSI? What are the score lines of each series?
Say.
Next week, Alex.
Um.
After MSI is done, we'll talk about roster changes.
Oh yeah. We'll talk about TSMC9 and
Well, we got all
Dig,
summer
right?
split to worry about that. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm not worried about it. For right now, it's MSI.
But I think RNG BTG 3-1 and G2 beats SKT 3-0.
Really?
Yep. And then RNG beats G2.
Okay. Europe continues to lose to China and can never beat them in a best of 5.
Possibly. But I do think there's a real way that you could see um NA and Europe like battle each other in the final. There definitely is a possibility.
I'm gonna go on a limb and say this. Here's my predictions. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
I think SKT beats G2 3-1.
Okay.
I think EG beats RNG 3-2.
Okay.
And then I think Korea beats us 3-0.
Okay.
I think we get if we make it to finals, we get absolutely smashed by T1. Like it's not even close. We arguably like set a new record for fastest series ever of all time. But
I think EG would lose to T1.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think they match up better with T1 than the RNG.
To a certain extent, yeah. If they can get past 15 minutes, which I don't think they can. They got their
They'll
one
beat
game off
T1.
of T1.
They beat them.
I think we stand a
First
better chance
choice.
against RNG.
Probably.
Danny's gonna come in and pop off, put Gala in his place.
Shut up.
Daddy
Alright,
Impact
do
is
your
gonna
thing.
carry us over the final hurdle. And Jojo Pion is gonna cement himself as the best North American mid laner that we've ever had.
Okay.
All in one
Sure.
tournament.
Uh-huh.
I mean, name a better North American mid laner. Bjergsen,
Jojo Pion?
he's European. Jensen, he's
Bjergsen.
European. European.
Bjergsen.
European.
Bjergsen.
European.
Literally represented in
Like
A,
literally born in North
for
America.
years.
Nah, born in North America.
I thought Jojo Pion was like
Canadian.
Canadian.
That's North American. I know
Oh,
you're in the
yeah.
army, but come on.
True. But he had the USA flag. That's what I don't get.
Because they didn't sell any Canadian flags in Texas. It was the only flag they could find.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That is funny.
That's the only reason why he had the USA flag, because he could not find the Canada flag.
I didn't know that. That was funny.
Yep. And now it's an iconic image in North American League of Legends, but it's like all under false pretenses.
Yep. That is funny. A better North American born mid laner probably doesn't exist, for being honest.
Exactly. He's the best North
Maybe-
American mid laner we've ever had.
He technically hasn't surpassed Poe Belter, though.
Poe Belter got carried. That's why he got dropped after 1 year.
I'm not saying Poe Belter won't get replaced by him. I'm saying he technically hasn't passed him.
I mean, did Poe Belter ever make it out of group stage at any international tour? Oh wait, yeah. Wait, was he? He was on CLG 2016. No, that was Huhi in mid lane.
That's who he.
Yeah. So no, Jojo Pune's made it further internationally than Poe Belter ever did
Okay.
in his first season.
Well, no, wait. Did Poe Belter ever perform?
Nope.
MSI group stage doesn't count as making it out of groups, by the way.
Yes, it does.
No, it
whenever Team
it
Liquid missed it, yeah, it counts. That counts
does
against
not.
you. That is a
Doesn't count.
okay. Fine, I'll give you this. It doesn't count as a +1, but not making it out definitely counts as a -2.
Well, yeah, if you didn't make it out, it'd be
Which Poe Belter didn't.
a complete disaster.
He
Did
didn't.
not?
No, Team Liquid 2018 collapsed. Poe
In
Belter played
groups?
like shit, and they subbed in Joey for Ole.
Oh, you're right.
They failed
Yeah.
to make it out of group stage at MSI. That's a -2 immediately.
Didn't TSM not make it out of groups at MSI one time?
Correct. 2017, TSM did not make it out of groups
Yep.
with Wild Turtle.
So dumb.
I'm just saying, he's the best North American
know,
mid
I
laner
know.
that has ever played the game. I don't know. That's enough copium and hopium for me. I'm riding high until
Yep.
Friday at 6 a.m.
All right. Well,
Although, fair warning,
love
ladies
you,
and gentlemen,
Spica.
if EG wins this fucking tournament, just be ready. North America's gonna win Worlds. It's gonna be great.
Love you, Spica. Gotta make sure I get that in. He ain't gone.
Yet
Everybody keeps saying he's gonna be gone, but he's still here.
he'll be gone at the end of the year. Just enjoy your farewell tour.
He ain't gone yet.
All right. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Be sure to follow Paul on Twitter at Tar Heels or 23 Tar Heels 50.
Hmm.
And we will catch you on the next episode. Adios.
Adios.